Hello and welcome back to Nelly's TV. You remember that we are still on the update of the illegal trial of Nnamdi Kanu, and today's date remains Wednesday, 28 May 2025. In our previous video, we promised you that as more updates coming, we will get you updated, and we have gotten more updates. And in the previous video, if you haven't watched it, I will put it on the top right corner of your screen and just click it, go and watch it, and then you come back and continue with this one. So we ended by telling you that Nnamdi Kanu claimed that he was made to give statements under duress when he was arrested in 2015. So because of that, the presiding judge ruled for a trial within trial to ascertain if actually the statement he made in 2015 was under duress, because the prosecuting counsel, that is the lawyer to Nigerian government, decided to use the statement against Kanu in the court today. So you can't be using a statement that you extracted from somebody under force to judge him again, because that would be injustice. So the lawyer said, no, let's clear that air. And when we are done, then we know whether to accept the statement as an exhibit or as an evidence, as the case may be, or throw it away because it was extracted under duress. So that trial was ruled upon, and the lawyer, the presiding judge, told them to start the cross-examination. Okay, so the trial within trial kick-started as ruled by the judge. Then the prosecuting counsel asked the masked witness, the third witness. He asked him, "Do you know anyone called Mr. Brown?" Witness, "I am not sure. I conducted the interview with Mr. James Ibrahim and Collins, not Mr. Brown." Counsel, did the defendant Nnamdi Kanu at any time make any request to you before you took his statement? Witness, he did not make any request except asking us to let him have some rest. Counsel, did he demand the presence of his lawyer? Witness, I am not aware of such a request, but to the best of my knowledge, he did not. Remember, the counsel here is the government of the counsel for the government of Nigeria, right? So he's cross-examining his own witness. Okay. Counsel continued. He said he was put in solitary confinement, right? Witness, I am not aware. If you watch my video interview with him, there is a table before him, so I'm surprised he made such allegations. Counsel, did he mention his health condition to you? Witness, I am not a medical doctor, so can't tell if he was sick, but to answer your question, he never mentioned being sick. Counsel, he claimed you forced him to make statements under duress. Witness, lies, is not true. All he wrote was voluntarily done, and he was excited. He was excited. Oh my God. Counsel, he said you told him some things to write about former President Jonathan. Witness, is not true. So the prosecution asked that a video marked as an exhibit be played in court, and his request was granted by the presiding judge. So he wished to prove, he wished to prove that Nnamdi Kanu had, that is the defendant, did not make any statement under duress. That was what they were trying to prove, right? So the flash drive containing the evidence was then being played. Okay, so everybody was watching. And after playing the video to prove that Nnamdi Kanu gave his statement willingly, the court decided to go on a 10-minute break. After the break, the video evidence when Nnamdi Kanu, the defendant, was interviewed by DSS without any of his legal representatives was played in the court. Now, take note, the DSS is trying to prove that Nnamdi Kanu made his statement voluntarily even without his lawyer. Can you imagine? He made a statement without his lawyer and you say it was okay. All right, let's continue. So, the contents of the first video played by the prosecution as the voice of Nnamdi Kanu. So Nnamdi Kanu started talking. You DSS agents are the custodians of law, but still break the law. And Nnamdi Kanu continued again as the video continued. This is the third time I am making statements without any of my legal representatives. The law says I am entitled to a lawyer, but you have consistently denied me one. Record me and let the world hear it that I am making yet another statement without my lawyer. Even if you point a gun at me, I will still say the truth. I was the first person to organize a rally against Boko Haram in London. You have denied me access to my lawyer. You are not a law enforcement agency, but rather lawbreakers. Right. So the video ended playing, and then the second video was presented by the prosecution counsel and it started playing. So in the video, DSS said, ask Nnamdi Kanu, how are you? Nnamdi Kanu, I am not fine. DSS, what is IPOB? Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB is the acronym for Indigenous People of Biafra. DSS, what is the duty of an IPOB? Nnamdi Kanu, he explained the role and duty of IPOB to the Biafran people. He went further to point out that the Biafra regions and clearly stated no region was forced to join the IPOB and no region is being forced. If you want to emancipate yourself and territory from slavery, it remains your personal decision. Those were the words of Nnamdi Kanu. So the video was very lengthy and continued playing, obviously to delay the whole thing, take the whole of the day. So, in fact, it is believed that it was a well-orchestrated plan. So, the judge asked them to fast forward this so that the third video could be played also. Before ordering the prosecution to play the next video at the conclusion of the second video, the presiding judge verbally stated his observation in his words. He said, I heard the defendant, Nnamdi Kanu, repeatedly complain in the video that none of his legal representatives was present during the interview and he needed to speak to his lawyers. I will thoroughly look into that and his insistence on making statement on duress. There must be a ruling for that. Those were the words of the presiding judge. So at this point, the third video marked as an exhibit just finished playing, and they proceeded to the fourth video. So currently, the fourth video interview started playing. So as the fourth video continued playing, it was also a very lengthy one, delaying the whole process until it ended. So then this process, the process of cross-examination section then commenced. Recall that they are, they were still cross-examining the third witness. They were still cross-examining the third witness. Okay. All right. So cross-examination of the third witness continued. Now, it was the turn of the defense counsel, Nnamdi Kanu's counsel, to cross-examine him. So, defense counsel, I observed all through your video evidence that the interview did not show the faces of interviewers. Why that? Witness, we are protected by the law. Defense counsel, did you introduce yourself to the defendant before the interview? Did you tell him your real names? Witness, yes, I introduced myself and mentioned my name to him. Defense counsel, do you know the names of everyone working in DSS agency? Witness, no. Defense counsel, did you ever enter the cell or where the defendant was confined? Witness, no. Defense counsel, do you have underground cells in DSS base? Witness, I don't know. Defense counsel, are you aware that so many people detained in your custody have announced that they were kept in an underground cell? Witness, I am just hearing this for the first time. Defense counsel, did you hear when Citizen Showore said when he was detained in an underground cell? Witness, anybody can say anything to garner public sympathy. Defense counsel, are you aware the defendant was held in an underground cell? Witness, I am not aware. It cannot be true. Defense counsel, did you notice you people were forcing the defendant on what to write? Witness, we did not force him, but was just, okay, he wanted to say, but we're just trying to guide him. Defense counsel, did you observe he wore the same shirt every day for the interview? Witness, yes, I did observe. Defense counsel, did you notice how excited he was when he asked for water? Witness, I did not notice. Defense counsel, did you know someone called Mr. Brown threatened him? Witness, I didn't know about that. That's how they dodge. Okay, the trial ended, that is the cross-examination ended, and don't forget, the judge said he will thoroughly look into the defendant's stance on forceful derivation of evidence by the DSS in 2015 without any of his legal representatives. So right now, the judge demanded both Nnamdi Kanu and his defendant and the defense team, that is Nnamdi Kanu being the defendant and his team of lawyers, to have a proper and in-depth legal conversation before the resumption of trial. Okay, so after the discussion between Nnamdi Kanu and his counsel, then trial proceeded. Nnamdi Kanu was moved to the witness box for cross-examination, and the case began to get even more interesting. So, it was Mr. San Paul, that is Mr. Paul Lekuro, San Paul Erokuro, sorry, SAN, that started asking Nnamdi Kanu questions. That is Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, okay? So he wanted to take the lead of asking the questions before the Nigerian lawyer comes to ask him also, because that is how it is done. So the defense counsel, if I have a letter to deliver to you, where would it be? Nnamdi Kanu, in DSS dungeon. Defense counsel, how long have you been in DSS custody? Nnamdi Kanu, I have been in DSS dungeon for 6 years. Defense counsel, you mentioned to the court today that your statement was forcefully derived under duress. Am I correct? Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke as the intelligent man he has always been. Listen attentively. He answered, yes, it was under duress and done in the absence of my legal representatives. More so, I was brutally tortured, spat on, injured, and blindfolded before they brought me to Abuja from Lagos. Mr. Brown, the brutal DSS agent who acted as an interviewer, threatened me while I was bleeding from the nose to write as ordered because he had the power to make sure I was jailed. This very DSS forced me into an underground dark torture cell and prohibited me from coming into contact with anyone. I bled profusely from my nose and the trail of the blood kept following me. It got so bad that they invited a doctor who demanded I should be given a 1 hour break for my life's sake. Okay, so the video evidence played here today was intensely edited. That was still Mazi Nnamdi Kanu talking, that they edited the video. In fact, they removed the part where Mr. Brown threatened me to write as ordered. They never allowed my legal counsel to come visiting until I was transferred to Kuje prison. That was what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. So the defense counsel, Mr. Paul Ekurosan, ended his cross-examination. Mind you, this is still on trial within trial, not the real case itself. So the prosecuting counsel, the lawyer to federal government of Nigeria, then decided to ask Nnamdi Kanu his own cross questions. He said, "Was your detention approved by a court?" Nnamdi Kanu, no court approved my detention. Counsel, when you gave the DSS your name and contacts of your lawyer, did they come? Nnamdi Kanu, DSS never asked for the names and contacts of my legal representatives. So the prosecution counsel ended his cross-examination and had no more questions to ask. So following the cross-examination concluded by both defense counsel and prosecuting counsel, the trial within trial session came to an end. So the matter was adjourned to 29th of May 2025 for continuation of the trial. So today is 28 and 29 will be tomorrow when the trial will continue. So, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and friends, that was how it transpired at the Federal High Court Abuja in the illegal trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by Nigerian government, who went to Kenya and kidnapped him and brought him to Nigeria. That is the injustice we are talking about happening in the contraption called Nigeria. So, having watched up to this point, I thank you very much for staying tuned. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Just hit the subscription button, like the video, and share it to your friends and well-wishers so that more of such interesting videos will continue to come your way, okay? We give you analysis, news, history as they are, with all the truth to help enlighten you to be the real person you ought to be. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.